Alrighty guys, let's try this again. I was making a video and God knows how long I was talking to myself without the camera rolling. I don't know. I had a message. I got a message. I don't know. Maybe that booted it off. I've got probably 2.5 hours sleep since I did them 500Is. I'm gonna try to go in and go to bed here. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning right now, 5:30, somewhere in there. I did those 500Is. I had the tooling all set up other than the depth of the Dino Joe cutter set. My buddy John had his 500i tore down in the box, and then he had our buddy Aaron's 500i with him. When he showed up, he got here about 9:30. It's like a 2.5 hour drive for him. We were actually joking about how boring of a drive it is. But time he got here, time we got settled in, I started doing the chamber cuts, and I wished I would have filmed the chamber cuts for you guys. I cut about 45 out of them. They went flawless. I don't think it took me 10 minutes a cylinder with Joe's cutter. And they looked amazing. So, yeah, I wish they'd all go like that. So, took me roughly 20 minutes there to get the two chambers cut. I had the lathe all set up. Once I established squish on how much I had to cut off, it didn't take long to set the squish on them. So we cut 45 out of the band. I set the squish at 20. Well, I set one at 20, and I went a little safer on another one at 20, 25. Just because I know it's going to get used a lot more, and I didn't want the carbon to build up in there. And when they say they're going to use a saw, those two guys use their saws. We'll find out the durability. But me and John cranked out 2 500i port jobs in 3 hours. Actually, less than 3 hours. I had to take off there and pick my daughter up. That killed about 15 or 20 minutes. And then the wife got out of work early and she stopped in, and then it hindered the porting process while we talked to her. And then after that, we got right back on it. Didn't really skip any steps. I should have maybe got some pictures or whatever, but you guys have seen my 500i port work. It looked no different than any of the other 500s on my previous videos. Polished exhaust, nice shaped uppers. But I did 45 band cut, 100 on the exhaust, 120 on the transfers, intake where it landed with a mellow lung in each of them. And the muffler mod, I didn't really do much. I forgot to tell him to straighten out the baffle fins. I think he probably left them in there. But then we put them aftermarket. I don't know if you want to call them they're an aftermarket cover, but I think they're a rip-off of an EPS performance cover. Like what they looked very similar to the EPS high performance covers that he sells. They even stole the brace, it had the center hole in it with the screen, and they stole the center brace idea. The only thing I noticed it didn't have was the bolt-on added deflector to keep heat off the case. It looked like they ripped off one of his earlier designs. I think he's tweaked them a little bit since then. But as far as knockoff quality, they were nice. So nice, in fact, I actually ordered a $30 one I found that looks a little different, because I know what the $42 one looks like. Today, my $30 one should be here, and I wanted to just look at it and see. It won't work on my 500i because I got the hidden go fast pipe behind on mine, so that I'd have to modify that cover, and I don't want to do that. But I wanted to look at it, kind of check it out, and I know another guy that will probably pick that cover up off me for his 500i. It's not no big deal. Or I'll throw it on the shelf for the next 500 eye port, so I don't have to weld on stainless. But yeah, I busted them out for John and Aaron. You see a 359 sitting there. That's Aaron's as well. I did some horse trading with Aaron for this brand new 620 PW. I am super thrilled about that. It's got it's on its 13th tank of fuel. This fuel that's in it right now. He is very, very meticulous about his saws. I believe the air filter gets cleaned every tank, and he writes the date he bought the saw, which was 9/29/23, and it looks like a little prison sentence thing in here. He's got lines, he'll put 4 lines in that thing, and this is on its 13th tank. He keeps track. I don't know what the future's going to hold for this saw. I might port it, send it down the road, might port it, might keep it. Might not do anything with it other than use it for test comparisons too. I don't know what the future's going to hold with it, but he was willing to throw it up on the barter section there, so I did some bartering with him. I know it's with him. I have no worries. It's been well taken care of. Good fuel and oil's been ran in it. It's nice to get a saw off somebody you trust. But yeah, I don't know what the future's going to hold for it. I still have a Dalmar piston and cylinder there that's available. I will sell cheap. I don't need it. It'll fit 6400, 7900, all the Makitas. It is open port, 6 open ports. I think it's like a 6400 cylinder. It's got the side compressor, at least not the one up here, but it'll fit either or. So if you've got a burned up Dalmar and you don't want to spend big bucks on a cylinder, you just want to get it running again, this thing's like brand new. It come off a brand new saw that I threw a big bore kit on, and then I did trading for the labor. I'm switching it over because at the time I had a bunch of Dalmar stuff, and I thought I needed that for a different project, and I ended up using a solo 665 cylinder on that project, so I ended up never using it, and then I sold all my other Dalmar stuff. So I have no Dalmar stuff left but a stroker crank, and I think my buddy wants that stroker crank. That's a 681 solo crankshaft, or at least that's what I'm told. I've sent pictures to him and pictures of the box and stuff, and everybody I've sent pictures to that crank to has pretty much agreed it's solo. So I think he's going to claim that. But let's see here. I am absolutely blown away with the amount of interest that the upcoming build together, community build, whatever we want to call it, 2511 build is going. I feel I probably all of a sudden threw a huge surge in their freaking, as many messages that I've seen in the comment section and that I've gotten behind the scenes. I've got guys sending me messages saying they've ordered up to like 8 of them things. That's unbelievable. This is crazy. I had no idea that this was going to turn into such a community thing. I'm really looking forward to it. And on this, the reason I chose that saw, first, they're cheap, and as far as clones goes, I feel is what's crossed my bench, they're the highest quality clone that I've encountered so far, unless you want to get into the Zenoa clones. The Zenoa and the Zenoa clones are pretty darn nice quality too. Like that Black & Decker, I think that was some sort of Zenoa clone. I think that was like an $80 saw or whatever, and the quality of it blew my mind. But there's high quality, cheapy high quality. I guess I don't know how you want to word it. Doesn't sound good throwing it all in the same thing. Considerably cheaper than the OEM. And if the guys that are, I'm working on getting an OEM 2511 too that I might actually tear down and go in sequence with this, so I can show the differences that I do from an OEM one versus the open port cylinder. The OEM one, the Lucky Dog will be required, unless we go to my old build where I go in with the round circle thing and just elongate the transfers. I don't know. It depends on how involved I get into that. But the reason I chose that was the quality. There's no machining needed on that build, and they're cheap, guys. If you won't have no fear, because if you completely botch the cylinder on Amazon, they sell a new piston and cylinder kit for like $40. So there's absolutely no fear. I mean, that's why that one, I went hog wild on that one where I come right out the sides of the transfers, and I had to fill them back in with weld. I welded that cylinder all back together and then went in and reshaped the tunnels the way I wanted. I won't be getting that involved in this build, because that's welding up on a cylinder is probably far out of most people's leagues that want to get involved in this project. But I didn't think that was going to last, and the guy that picked that up is using it in full-blown tree work industry, and it is holding up. It baffles me. I figured for sure something, maybe I got the cylinder too hot and the plating would lift or whatever. That me being able to weld up on that cylinder and it freaking not have a plating issue, they had to use some good plating on that, because I've welded up on 4910 cylinders and smoked them right away. So, and 4910s have really good plating. Granted, it was in a different spot that I was welding, and open port, so maybe I wasn't right on the plating. But sometimes there can be lift issues after you've superheated a cylinder. So, I will be showing you. I would strongly recommend, if you're gonna go down this rabbit hole of porting, the Lucky Dog is probably a must. If not, bare minimum, that $66 El Cheapo one, and the foot pedal controlled V-War kit would probably be the cheapest one I've found. Or unless you go to your Harbor Freight, and the Harbor Freight still happens to have one in stock, then pick that one up, because they're like $44 when they were selling them. But we're going to do this. I am super thrilled with the outreach. It actually blows my mind. I'm bamboozled. I had no idea. And if this, I'm going to bust it up into a 4 or 5 part segment, and I don't think I'm going to cram them out right in a row. I'll do one video, we'll drop it, we'll give it 3 or 4 days so the guys can catch up and other people can get in on it. And then we'll do the next step. I'm going to try to get in great detail of what I do. I'm going to show the air filter mods. I've got a buddy of mine was telling me about a bigger carburetor. So he sent me pictures of it. I'm like, oh damn, it is bigger. So I got one of them coming. That was like $33 through the Dukes. I've got one of them coming. And I will show, I think how I'm going to do that with that carburetor after we get it all built. I'm going to show the carb mods I do to the bone stock Chinesium John Cutter carb, or V-Modus carb, however you want to look at it. I will show that, how I mod that, and then after we get this all running, we can swap out from the big carb to the modified carb and see if it gains anything or if it's equal. And I think I have a bone stock carburetor too. I'll have to look in my box. I think I got a stock John Cutter carb. Because I think on that last one I did, I just stole a modified carburetor off another one I'd already did, and I threw the brand new John Cutter one in a future build box or whatever. So I got a pile of them parts. So yeah, maybe we'll do stock carb running, modified stock carb, and then the Duke's carburetor, and we can see the differences in that. Really looking forward to this. I did order an oil film strength testing machine. Spent a lot of money on that. That is going to be, I don't think I'll be getting that until probably mid-January when I get it. I literally spent money on that I did not have. I essentially got rid of my blacked out 4910 to get that machine. Not only to satisfy my curiosity, but I'm sure you guys are going to. I want to test two-stroke oils. I want to be testing bar and chain oils. I want to be testing additives. I'm even going to be testing grease and stuff to find out what grease works best for high pressure load situations for like my tractor pins and stuff. I don't want to wear my tractor out. I mean, sure, you guys got tractors and stuff too that lift heavy logs and stuff, and you know, I got that little mini excavator. I don't want the pins and stuff wearing out on it for me. So I'm going to be finding out, doing testing for my own personal knowledge, but I'll take you guys along with me. Now, the stuff that I do for racing, I will show the result of it, but I am not going to give out what I'm mixing in to get those results, because that's something I have to hold back for competition. That's up to you guys to do research and find out what kind of stuff does that. But if there is any gain or benefit to doing what I'm doing, I will show you what it does on the machine, how many amps it cuts down on the draw and all that stuff. But and the wear scar and all that. But I will not give out, if I use it in a racing situation, I am not giving out what I'm using. You guys have to be forgiving on that part of it. The competition at race events now is so fierce. If I think I can come up with something to get me just a little bit edge because I'm such a crappy racer anyway, I'm not giving it away unless it's like a close friend or something. There's just some things I gotta keep to myself, guys. But maybe I'll make video footage on it and say what it is or whatever and archive it, and then if I ever kick the bucket or whatever, I'll just have it in my last wishes that the wife can release stuff that I didn't want released or something maybe. At that point it ain't gonna matter if I'm pushing up daisies. But yeah, so I am super duper thrilled with your guys' participation so far. You guys are making this happen, and I am happy to try to help you guys out. I am super pumped. I'm more pumped on this than any other video thing that I've done so far in quite some time. And if this works out really, really good, I might have to thumb through Amazon and eBay and find the next El Cheapo saw that we can do bad things to, and maybe we'll keep trying things like this and eventually get up into doing some crazy stuff. Like maybe if it gets good enough, maybe we'll get into, we could build a reed saw of some Chinese junker or whatever that we don't care about. But that's ways down the road. We'll start with the 2511, and then maybe next is an Ola clone or something. Absolutely thrilled, but I am beyond beat. I think I'm gonna go and lay down. I let my buddy John play with my Racer 461 that I retweaked. He was blown away. I should have recorded that because his reaction was priceless. And we played with my 661 some. And I don't think I lost anything. Feels pretty good. But I will have to get it after the holidays. I'm going to have to wait till after the holidays. I think Joe's going on vacation. So I'll have to get it. I was going to go over the other day and have it pulled. But right when actually the truck was warming up for me to head out to go over there, I got a message from my daughter that she got called into work and I had to watch the 2-year-old grandson. And I would have probably, if it would have been nice weather, I would have took him over with me and let him see Joe's saw shop or whatever. But Not in this crummy weather. If I'd have broke down or something, it's one thing if I break down in the middle of a blizzard or whatever. I can't expect a 2-year-old to be in there with me, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to more testing with my 661. I still have my 10.5 horse 661 that we can do comparisons to. And if this thing gained what it did, I might jump back into my 10.5 horse one and retweak that one as well. I took on another 661. That's getting shipped here. I don't know when. I got 2 462s coming up. I did some horse trading. I'll be getting one of the 462s. I got a 400 up coming up that I'm going to be doing. I still think there's a 4910 or 2 floating around, or a 501 floating around out in limbo somewhere that they never shipped it to me, and I don't think I've gotten any more emails on them. But if someone wanted a 501 or 4910 done, I think I could fit 1 or 2 in amongst these other projects that I got going on. As long as you weren't in a big yank. But yeah. So I jibber jabbered on here enough. I'm absolutely thrilled with how this 2511 project video thing, I don't know, community build, I don't know what we want to call it, but I think it'll be a 3, 4, maybe 5-part series, and I'm doing it for you guys. So you guys take it easy, have a good one, and enjoy.